I'm Chloe, and I'm going to teach you how to make a super sexy scatter plot. So let's get this bread. If I open up R right now, beep bop boop, this is essentially what the final plot's going to look like. If this doesn't look like something you want, then get out of here. But if this is something you want to learn how to build, then let's get this. So first thing we're going to do is that we're using a data set that R is in base R. It's called Iris. I did not make this. Anyone can access it. So yeah, next thing we're going to do is install ggplot. The first time you do that, it's going to be in quotation marks. You only have to do this once. And then after that, you are going to call it. So you're going to call any packages you use every single time you open up an R script. So we're going to call ggplot right now. So let's look a little bit for a second at just this iris. Actually, I have to call iris too. Let's call this iris and see what it looks like. So we see that there are several continuous variables and one categorical variable. It's the species of irises. Cool. Let's make a plot. So first you're going to call ggplot as a function, and ggplot really is the canvas that you build on. So you've got the base of gg, you define your data frame, and then you decide what you want to be pulled from it. So here we have our data frame iris. We've got the aesthetics, so you're using anything in aesthetics. AES is pulled from that data frame. So we're saying our X is going to be the sepal length, this Y is going to be sepal width. Great. After that, you can say what you want that information to look like. So it can be a heat map, a density plot, bar chart, histogram, whatever your little heart wants. But here, we're just going to make a scatter plot. So geom point, let's get this. And this is what it looks like. Nope. This is what it looks like. It's ugly. It's so ugly. Base ggplot is so bad. So let's not stop here. That was level 1. Let's go to level 2. All right, let's see. Let's see what's up. Let's change the color of the points. By doing that, you're going to say you want the point color to be a color. I'm saying green here. This is one of the pre-registered kind of like colors that R recognizes. If you put a color like aquamarine or teal, it's not going to work. It only works for like red, blue, green, colors like that. Another thing I did here is that I added a theme. So theme black and white is another theme that takes away that gray background. I'm more partial to it. I think it's cuter. It's just me. Another way to use color is that we can color by factor. So here, for example, I can color by species. So let's do that. Okay, so this is coloring using species as a color. So as you can see, there are 3 colors, there are 3 species. And this is a really clear way to do data wrangling, to look at it. And as you can see too, when I color by species, it goes in the aesthetics. So in AES, because it's part of the data frame, and using color to be by this factor, it uses these default colors, and it's right here. The geom point is empty because, or you could put it down here too. I just like having it in the base, but anyway. Okay. We could also color by size. So let's say a biologically relevant question is to have sepal length over a certain size, under a certain size. We can do that too. So if I look at the range of sepal sizes, it's just the data goes from like 4 to 7. Let's say I want them to be greater than 5, to be a certain color and less than a certain color. Here we are. We can see that when the sepal's length is less than 5, the color is blue. When it's greater than 5, the color is red. There are many, many ways to subset data like this, and a lot of more complicated and sometimes cleaner using if-else statements, if that's relevant to you. This is a kind of a quick and dirty way of doing it, but for visualizing the data, it's something that is pretty easy to do and can be good depending on what your question is. Level 3. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys how to change the colors of things, how to change the points, color scheme, transparency. Let's do this. First, I'm just going to run it. There it is. So, what have I done here? Everything from the top is the same. I've made the points bigger, so size 3, but you can go even bigger than that, or however big you want. I also changed the transparency. Transparency is alpha, so if you do an alpha of 1, it's opaque, and anything less than that, it's going to get lighter and lighter. Then I used something called the color scale brewer. Now, this is things that people who are a lot smarter than me have developed, and a lot of artists who are super smart. If you just Google color scale brewer, you'll see all the options. Here, I just took pastel 1, but you can do anything that's kind of within this that rocks your world. Rocked mine. Yep. Cool. Moving on to level 4. I'm going to run that first. What did I do here? I changed the point size, I changed the legend location, and yeah, that's what I did here. So let's look at how I did this. Changed the size of 3, alpha back to 1, and I also changed the shape. So shape is something that you can change pretty easily. Again, it's some preset thing. You can find them here. Any shape that you like, you want to do a Star of David, go for it. That's shape 11. Whatever rocks your sauce. Yeah. So anyway, that's a cool thing. Some fun things you can do is label your axes. Again, anything within these quotations, within these calls, are whatever you want it to be. So here I named it awesome sauce because that's ridiculous, but also just to make a point that it truly is whatever you write there. So if you're going to write it well, if it's for a report or something. Also, I put the legend at the bottom. But notice that I put legend light, the theme of light, and then the theme position below it. The order of these layers is so important. I cannot stress this enough. If you shift, I'm not going to do it here, but if you just trust me or do it yourself, if you flip the themes, it will go back to only following the first theme thing. It'll just reset all the colors. And so this is kind of goes to the whole point of ggplot being built in layers. So it'll take, if it takes theme, the first theme you give it, and you gave that theme that legend position command, it'll just understand that theme. But what we did here is that we first gave it an empty theme, and we said, okay, we want it to be light, and then on top of the light, we want the position of the legend to be at the bottom. So it's very important what you do. Cool. Level 5. We are going to change the boldness of the points. We are going to do this manually. Here we go. So first thing you're going to notice is that here I actually am going to be saving my plot as an object. I named it Q. You can name it whatever you want. And you will see why right now. So this scale color manual has to be added on top of an object. So that's why I did that. And so then I'm going to run my object Q, which is at ggplot, plus a scale color manual, and here's our final product. What's so cool about the scale color manual is that you can use any color under the sun. So let's look at all of the colors under said sun. It's just look at all those colors. I don't know, blue. So anyway, every color has a code. If I wanted this color, for example, here I go. I can just add it here, you know, whatever number that color was, run it, bam! Isn't that so cool? It's mind-blowing to me. I can't wrap my head around it. Anyway, and then also, I've named my legend, best legend ever, because it is, and then I named my species something else. So before they were the preset species name that I had in my data, and here I'm renaming them control treatment 1, treatment 2. This doesn't mean anything. And so it's important too that here it's going as 1, 2, 3. So it's important that control, if I go to levels of my iris species, you're seeing Setosa here I've named control, right? Varus color is treatment 1, blah 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 is treatment 2. So it's important that these things are lining up, because if you name your control something that wasn't the control, then you're in deep. Also, there's plenty of other re-level things and different renaming things that might be better for you, and something I hope to cover in future videos if this was helpful to you at all. So I hope it was, and stay plotty, and stay safe out there. See you soon.